Chapter 5 Starvation in Bengal, 1943, Calcutta, Bengal Vich Bhukmari. The train left Howrah for Banchi at 6:08 in the morning. Two Punjabi Sikh men were travelling in the inner-class compartment of this train. One of them was named Gurmukh Singh, and the other was named Bhagat Singh. The following conversation took place between these two Sikh gentlemen. Bhagat Singh: Sardarji, I myself have fallen sick after seeing the Bengali people in Calcutta stricken with starvation. One can see through the rib cages of almost 90% of the people. One feels as if human skeletons are moving around on the roads. Their eyeballs seem to have frozen in their sockets, and their faces are frightening to look at. There's hardly any one among them who has not seen a relative dying with starvation in front of his own eyes. I have been driven to the verge of losing my balance of mind after seeing such horrible spectacles of human beings rotting like beasts on the streets, begging desperately for food, and being shouted at and driven away. Human beings fighting like dogs for leftovers outside restaurants and eateries. Scantily covered or half-naked women scampering like monkeys with babies hanging on their bodies. Lakhs of people are dying on the war front in Europe, but their death is the death of the valiant and the patriotic. Their countrymen are proud of their sacrifice and death. Countless memorials and monuments will be raised in their memory. These soldiers die with satisfaction of sacrificing their lives for a great cause. Moreover, in war, people die with bullet injuries and bomb explosions. Their death on the spot relieves them of their pain and misery. Those who get wounded are rendered many times relief and favors. But in India, hundreds of thousands of Indians who are dying inch by inch with prolonged starvation and pain, and where there is nobody to pick up their bodies and mourn their death, are dying a inglorious death. Their death en masse have no relevance or significance. I have lost my total peace of mind after witnessing this misery of human beings created by God. I have lost all sense of appetite for the last 2 months. I don't feel like eating anything myself. I have started taking only 1 meal a day, but I don't feel like taking even 1 meal now. I am venturing out of Calcutta in your company to see the famine-stricken people in the countryside. But after hearing that conditions outside Calcutta are even more pitiable, I wonder why the divine Waheguru has created such a miserable situation. Gurmukh Singh: Respected Sardarji, I have great regard for your sympathy and compassion towards this human disposition, but pardon me, I do not agree with some of your views. Bhagat Singh: Why is it so, sir? Do you object to my point of view? Gurmukh Singh: Although it is not proper to call your views as objectionable, but at the same time your views are not based on any deep thinking and reflection. Bhagat Singh: Please be kind enough to explain the full impact of what you intend to say. Gurmukh Singh: My dear friend, you are not aware that only contrary phenomena can overpower each other. Water alone can extinguish fire. Fire cannot extinguish fire. Heat is required to reduce coldness. Cold is required to reduce heat. Similarly, sickness cannot remove disease. Good health alone can reduce sickness or disease. A patient, in order to relieve him of his sickness, should seek the help of a doctor. Contrary elements often overpower each other in this universe. According to this principle, if you are keen to relieve the people of Bengal of starvation and suffering, first you have to develop a sense of good health, great good health, in your own self or body. If your own mind is occupied with starvation, then wherever you go, you will see only starvation all around. How can you take out anything out of this empty vessel? Our mind is also a vessel which gives only that to the outside world, whatever it contains in itself. If you take starvation and suffering for granted, after having a glimpse over those who are starving and suffering, and yourself start starving and suffering, then you can neither relieve anybody's starvation and suffering, nor can you console them. You have reduced your own food intake after seeing starving people. Who benefits from your starvation and suffering? You yourself have admitted that you have fallen sick. Now your sick body and mind have not been able to bear the pain and suffering of seeing starving people, and it is driving you towards losing your own balance of mind. Suppose you find human conditions more appalling in the Bengal countryside than those in Calcutta. Then you will really fall sick and suffer from a mental condition. If things come to such an impasse, who will benefit from this situation? The people of Bengal will continue to suffer, but you will lose your health and balance of mind in this unreasonable bargain. Bhagat Singh: Respected Sardarji, I have never considered this aspect of this problem. I have taken pride in feeling sympathy towards these miserable people and their misery. But what you say is absolutely correct. I came to Bengal from Punjab with the mission of serving starving people of Bengal, but I feel sick after witnessing this miserable plight that exists in Bengal, and to the people of Calcutta because of starvation and suffering. I find a lot of substance in what you say, though. You are in high spirits, you are in Chardikala, even when you live in the midst of such misery and while serving those that are starving. Gurmukh Singh: My dear Bhagat Singh Ji, perhaps you have more milk of human kindness in yourself than I have, because you have come from Punjab to serve the people of Calcutta, but I keep on thinking deeply about this problem. When I look at the sick and suffering and poor and miserable people in the world, I fill myself with a feeling of good health, happiness, affluence, and tension free of thoughts. When I look at the sick, suffering, and poor, miserable people in the world, I fill myself with the feelings of good health, happiness, affluence, and tension-free thoughts. Then I try to serve and help those suffering on the base of these positive thoughts, instead of feeling miserable and out of sympathy for them. To feel suffering yourself after seeing others suffer, to feel frightened after seeing a frightened person, to feel sick after seeing somebody else's sickness. These are certainly signs of compassion and a sign of a noble person. But such a person is ignorant and immature. Such a person cannot improve any situation in the world except falling prey to the suffering himself. If a doctor himself falls sick because of the onset of the plague or cholera epidemic, how can that doctor serve anybody? The doctor should ensure that he feels more healthy and energetic than earlier during the epidemic. He must regard good health and sense of well-being as more powerful and permanent than disease and sickness. Disease and sickness are temporary and artificial. He must feel that it is his fundamental right to overpower weakness, sickness, and remove sicknesses permanently. My dear friend, you will realize the truth of these statements if you think seriously over what I'm saying. This is the basic principle of Sikhism. When we Sikhs partake in Amrit, in the initiation ceremony, Amrit Chakna, or to receive Khande Di Pahal, we pledge our life to Guru Gobind Singh and give an undertaking that we will never compromise with evil so long as we are alive. On the contrary, we shall fight all evil forces with all our might, mental, physical, and spiritual. We will defeat those dark forces and prove that these are insignificant in front of us. The Guru's true Sikhs do not allow any obstacles to stop them. On the other hand, they fight with the misfortune by creating a counterforce to combat it and succeed in overcoming whatever obstacles come before them. The greater the amount of strength that a Sikh is able to muster and gather in himself to counter any misfortune or adversity, the stronger and more formidable and more devout is he in the Guru's faith. Bhagat Singh. Gurmukh Singh, sir, please explain your point of view a bit more elaborately. Your views are already removing some of my misgivings, and I am receiving enlightenment for leading a better life. Gurmukh Singh. If you're interested in listening to my views further, I will explain my views a little more clearly. I always go on observing the conflict between two opposite forces. This conflict also continues in everyone's mind. One of these two forces tries to bring down the morale and spirits of man by presenting a grim spectacle of misfortunes, problems, suffering in human life. The other force brings out that a man is above and beyond the reach of these evil thoughts. If a man is determined, there is no misfortune, problem, adversity that can beat him down. This second kind of force prohibits a man from recognizing misfortune, adverse circumstances as real, and encourages man to rise above these problems by overcoming these in Chardikla. All of Sikh history proves that the Sikh gurus, the Sikh warriors, and martyrs have always tried to follow these rules. Their greatness and wisdom lies in the fact that they did not get beaten down by misfortunes. They made victory over all these ordeals as the ideal goal of their lives. Hon Gusain da pehlevan lada, main gurmil uch dama lada, sab hoi chinj kathiya, dai betha vekhe aap jiyo, vaat vajan tamak pheriyan, man lathe lende feriyan, nihatte panj jwan main gurthapi ditti kand jiyo, sab ikatthe hoye aaya, gar jasan vaat vataaya, Gurmukh laha le gaye, manmukh challe mool gavaye jiyo. I am Waheguru's brave wrestler. Having met the Guru, I have put on a tall plumed turban. All the assembly of witnesses watch me wrestle, and the merciful Master himself is seated in front to behold this match. The bugles, the drums, and the trumpets play. The wrestlers enter the arena and begin taking circular movements. I have defeated the 4 deadly sins, and the Guru has patted me on my back. All come together in a body. They shall return home through different routes. The Gurmukhs get the profit and leave, while the Manmukhs lose even the capital, and they leave. Deh Shiva bar mohe hai, Shubh karman te kabhu na daron, na daron har son jab jaye laron, nischay kar apni jeet karo. O divine Waheguru, I pray for this gift to be granted to me, that never should I budge from doing good deeds, nor should I ever be scared when in combat. May I always reap the victory with a sense of determination. Guru Gobind Singh Maharaj. While this conversation was still going on, the train reached Banchi railway station. Both the passengers got down and went their separate ways. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.